Think about all the relationships in your life. Your best friend, your crush, your parents, your siblings. You think about them a lot, right? What they think of you, how they feel about you, whether they're happy with you. You put so much energy into those relationships. You fix them when they break. You worry about them at 2 a.m. You change yourself sometimes just to keep them okay. But I want to ask you something. When did you last put that same energy into your relationship with yourself? Not skincare, not the gym, not treating yourself. I mean actually sitting with yourself, understanding yourself, being honest with yourself. Most people never do this, and that's exactly why most relationships in their life feel incomplete. Here's something nobody told you when you were growing up. Every relationship you have with another person, how you love them, how you fight with them, how much you tolerate, how much you give, what you accept, what you walk away from. All of it is decided by one thing: the relationship you have with yourself. Not your zodiac sign, not your attachment style, not your childhood alone. How you see yourself, how you treat yourself, what you believe you deserve. That's the root of everything. Let me show you what I mean. There's a person who grew up being told they're too much, too loud, too sensitive, too needy. They heard it so many times that somewhere along the way, they believed it. And now they're older, and they're in a friendship where they always shrink. They don't share their opinion because they don't want to be too much. They apologize for things that aren't their fault. They feel grateful just to be included, even when that group doesn't really value them. From outside, you might say, why don't they just leave? Why don't they speak up? But from inside, this feels normal to them, because the voice inside their head already told them they don't deserve more, so they don't ask for more, from anyone. That's what an unhealthy relationship with yourself looks like in real life. It doesn't look dramatic. It looks like staying in situations that quietly make you feel small. It looks like working so hard for people's approval and never feeling like you've earned it. It looks like being surrounded by people, but still feeling deeply alone. Now let me show you the other side. There's another person. They're not perfect. They have insecurities. They've been hurt before. But somewhere they learned, maybe from someone, maybe on their own, to be honest with themselves. When something hurts them, they don't immediately blame themselves or the other person. They sit with it. They ask, what is this feeling trying to tell me? When someone treats them poorly, something inside them recognizes it quickly. Not because they're arrogant, but because they know what it feels like to be treated well, because they treat themselves well. They don't chase people who make them feel uncertain, not because they read some quote about self-worth, but because they've spent enough time with themselves to know what feels right and what doesn't. That's the difference. And it has nothing to do with confidence the way we usually think about it. It's not about being bold or loud or sure of yourself in every room. It's about knowing yourself quietly, knowing what you feel, knowing what you need, knowing what you will and won't accept. And that only comes from one place, from actually spending time with yourself, honestly, without performance. Now I want you to think about something. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Really think about it. Not what you think you should say, what you actually say. For most people, it sounds something like, I'm so stupid. Why do I always do this? I can't do anything right. You would never say that to someone you love. If your best friend made a mistake, you'd say, it's okay, you're human. Let's figure it out. But to yourself, you're brutal. And you've been doing this so long, it doesn't even feel harsh anymore. It just feels like the truth. That's the problem. Your mind believes what it hears the most. And if the voice it hears the most, your own voice, is constantly telling you that you're not enough, it builds its entire understanding of itself around that. And then you go out into the world carrying that, into your friendships, into your relationships, into every room you walk into. You don't even realize you're doing it, but it shapes everything. How much you speak, how much you stay quiet, who you allow close to you, who you keep at a distance. This is why people can change their friends, change their partner, change their city, and still end up in the same patterns, same arguments, same feelings, same loneliness. Because the one thing they didn't change was the relationship with themselves. You carry yourself everywhere you go. So what does it actually mean to build this relationship? It doesn't mean you have to love yourself perfectly. It doesn't mean you never have bad days or dark thoughts. It means you start paying attention to yourself the way you pay attention to people you care about. It starts with something very simple: honesty. Not the honesty you perform for others, the honesty you have when no one is watching. Am I actually happy right now? Or am I just used to this? Do I actually like this person? Or am I just afraid of being alone? Is this making me better? Or am I just comfortable? Most people never ask these questions, not because they're afraid of the answers, but because they never learned that they're allowed to ask. The second thing is learning to sit with your own feelings without immediately fixing them or running from them. Something happens and it hurts. Your first instinct is to distract yourself. Open your phone, call someone, eat something, put on something to watch, anything to not feel it. But feelings don't disappear when you ignore them. They go quiet for a while, and then they come back louder, usually at the wrong time, usually aimed at the wrong person. You've seen this happen. Someone gets angry about something small, and it seems like an overreaction. It's usually not about that small thing. It's about everything they never processed. Sitting with yourself doesn't mean suffering alone. It means giving yourself the same patience you give others when they're going through something. Saying, okay, this hurts. I'm going to let it hurt for a moment instead of pretending it doesn't. That's actually a form of respect for yourself. And slowly, not overnight, slowly, you start to know yourself better. You know what drains you and what fills you. You know when you're saying yes because you want to, and when you're saying yes because you're scared to say no. You know when you need space and you stop feeling guilty for taking it. You know what you actually value, not what you were told to value. And here's what changes in your other relationships when this happens. You stop needing people to complete you. You can love someone without losing yourself in them. You can be alone without it feeling like punishment. You can walk away from things that don't serve you without it destroying you. You can receive love without being suspicious of it. None of this is about being closed off or independent to the point of needing no one. Humans need each other. That's real. But there's a difference between choosing people because they add to your life and clinging to people because you don't know who you are without them. That difference comes from this one relationship. You're watching this at an age where this actually matters more than you know. The patterns you build now, how you talk to yourself, what you accept, what you believe you deserve. Those don't just go away with time. They get louder. But they can also be changed, right now, by you. Not by reading more about it, not by watching more videos about it, by actually starting to pay attention to yourself today. Ask yourself one honest question tonight before you sleep. Not what did I do today, but how was I to myself today? Was I kind? Was I honest? Did I listen to what I was feeling, or did I push it away? Just that one question, and see what comes up. The relationship you have with yourself is not a self-help concept. It is the foundation everything else is built on. And most people spend their whole life trying to build a beautiful life on a foundation they never looked at. You don't have to be one of those people.